Hi, beautiful humans. It's the week ahead reading from me on this channel. If you're new here, I'm Erica, and this is a pick a card, and I do it every week, and I post it on Monday, but we're talking about the next 7 days ahead from like whenever you see this video. If you found it on any day of the week, and you click on it and you feel drawn to one of these cards, one of these groups, it's meant for you at that time when we're talking about the next 7 days of your life, your week ahead. I'm getting you some useful information from your guides to best prepare you for that time. But again, like I said, this is a pick a card reading, so I'm going to turn these cards over, show you all what they are, use them to intuitively feel drawn to one group or the other. Then timestamp in the description of this video, fast forward. Messages are intended to always be helpful on this channel. Group 1, Strength. Group 2, we have 8 of Cups, and Group 3, 4 of Cups. So, all right, trust the nudge. Maybe look at the numbers in the timestamps. A few people have told me that like the numbers in the timestamps are what draws them to one group or the other. Trust you, you do you. You have your process. This is an intelligent, magical science. But yeah, trust, timestamp, fast forward. I'll see you there in your messages. Beautiful humans, in group 1, you guys were drawn to this strength card. So these are your messages about your week ahead. I'm gonna get another card, add it to your card, and we're gonna see what is the main energy, the overall theme of your week ahead. It's the Ace of Swords. Someone coming through for you. I actually, more accurately, it's someone following through with you. More specifically, okay, this Ace of Swords, it says success, change, decisions, and actions. It's interesting. I think that you're dealing with an energy outside of you. I know I did say someone, but I love to generalize it and just say energy because it could be multiple someones. It could be something like a review board. It could be anything for you guys. But I think that there's something that had the energy of juvenile. Like, as in, like, it wasn't fully mature, didn't think it was fully mature, didn't think it was fully aware or fully ready for whatever it is that you are requiring, requesting, asking them to take part in. That you, I'm also hearing something that you highly value for each other, for you and this other, this energy outside of you. What I feel like is the overall theme of the week ahead is probably, I'm hearing the word construction and I'm visually seeing it. I'm literally seeing things kind of getting amplified, inflated almost, and things being built like up on top of them. Okay, so what I just visually saw, I feel as if you're dealing with an energy outside of you that felt like it didn't have enough and it wasn't enough for one reason or another. I think that their ego, maybe, not in a negative way, maybe in a negative way, maybe we're talking about ego, maybe it's just like genuinely self-confidence. It needs to be, it will be during the week, inflated in certain kinds of ways to like boost them up. And then we get going, and then we see our way through. The Strength card, courage, strength, control. I think that you are representing that energy in this outcome, yes, but also in this potential with this energy outside of you. And this is the week where you can kind of come across in those kinds of leader kinds of ways where you cheerlead, you know, you can do it. Like, what is it called? Like gassing a person up. Like, I keep thinking of William Wallace and Mel Gibson and Braveheart, and like, in every fucking battle movie, literally, they give like the battle speech before the battle. I don't know. I don't know why I just said it like fully like that. Like, it's like such a, what do we say, trope? Is that the correct word? Such a thing that happens all the time. But I feel like that's something that will be included in your week ahead, is effectively in certain kinds of ways you are helping for that amplification, inflation kinds of energy. I literally saw it was almost like, you know, those like big bounce pillows. I saw something like that being inflated and stuff being built like kind of on top of it. Maybe you go, that might be an actual physical reality for some of you, going to places that have bounce pillows. Just gonna leave that there. But it's something like we need this structure of support and stability, even if it's kind of gassed up or literally filled with air, just for this week. We'll get to where we need to go. You know, I'm hearing like pride in oneself, something like that. But okay, I have more tarot cards, group 1. Let's see a little bit more specifically about things that are likely to occur. Bottom of the deck, we have the Daughter of Air. And it is really intriguing that there's this kind of like spirit animal, accompanying animal like a hawk or an eagle right behind this woman. Feels as if, again, there's like a whole lot of communication. I think there's a charge up in your energy field this week of the expectation of this form of communication. Shallow. I just heard the word shallow. There's almost like with this energy outside of you, this person, if it is a person, they are carrying the form of the expectation of shallow forms of communication. Like they might be used to just like dropping in and saying a hi and that's all we require and you know, we're good kind of a thing. Like I don't know, I'm thinking of like all the jokes about how like men communicate versus women communicate. Like women get all the details and men are like, hey bro, yeah, okay, good. Like kind of a thing. I think that there's the energy of shallowness between you and this energy outside of you. Like maybe there have been a few brief exchanges, a few like small yet monumental, mild and yet very extremely important outcomes or exchanges have happened, like things that have occurred like it physically. For quite a few of you, I feel like we're not necessarily talking about like a singular person, but we're talking about something along the lines of an approval system, like a review board, something like that, like, you know, something like collegiate academic kind of vibes to this. And there have been some exchanges. You might have like sent over your thesis or your documents and something like that, and they might have looked at it or vice versa. Something is amplifying, but this is the energy that's building the week ahead, is just that kind of lightness. We have the 2 of Earth with change, and then we also have the 2 of Air with inner peace. There will be a lot of exchanges this week between you and this energy. I'm pretty sure you all, group 1, your guys are gonna have like a whole lot of other stuff happening. For some reason in the week ahead, this is the primary focus. This is what we're working on. This is what we're dealing with. It like is most important. It's like kind of like a priority. Like let's pay attention to messages about this so we can see our way through this well. It feels like the tone of the conversations and exchanges that you have with this energy outside of you, let's call it the Ace of Swords energy, is wanting a specific kind of a flavor to it about material world conditions, material world dynamics, material world commitments and engagements. And this 2 of Air with inner peace, it's waiting to see whether or not that is on offer. I feel like it's primarily coming through you to communicate those kinds of conditions to them, whoever they are in your situation. I feel, again, you're this energy of the strength commitment. And I think that you will be communicating these kinds of things to the energy outside of you and then waiting and holding to see whether or not it's a go, there's alignment, there's a follow through on this. Okay, your next 2 tarot cards, we have 7 of Air with futility. And then we also have small medicine wheel. This feels like it will be a little bit, I'm hearing this. Hopefully this makes sense. It makes sense to me. Tongue-in-cheek excitement. I think that something is truly going to kick off and get going. And it will excite you, but you're dealing with an energy outside of you where there's a part of you that doesn't want to fully, like, you know, show that because it might be a little bit like too expressive for this energy outside of you, or it might be a little bit like offensive or just like not necessarily what they're like wanting. It's giving me the vibes of like, how many years ago was this? I don't know. It was like a social media thing that was floating around social media, where it was this young woman. She got caught on the parking lot cam of the business that she had just interviewed with and she was hired by, and she was caught, like you see her walk out the doors and then you see her totally do happy dance. And it's like the cutest thing in the world that we can all relate to. I feel like that's gonna be you and your energy. I think that you're gonna walk out the doors, do the happy dance, but walk out the doors to do the happy dance. Does that make sense? Like tongue-in-cheek excitement, because like culturally we're not supposed to show how happy we are, kind of a thing. I'm never very good at that. I'm extremely bad at that. I'm very bad at anything to do with having to bargain, because if I want something, it's just like, no, I don't want to walk away from it. It's kind of like buying a house. You're supposed to be like, I could take it or leave it. And you're like literally considering your home kind of a thing. I think it's going to matter so much to you. And yet there's the dynamic in the air of don't necessarily show it. But okay, your next two cards. By the way, I mean, like, come on, we're talking about like follow through, okay? We're talking about this is actually going to work. This is actually going to happen. And then we have Shaman, which is Hierophant. Small medicine wheel is Wheel of Fortune. I don't think I said that, did I? Hopefully you pieced it together so far. So Wheel of Fortune, now we got the Hierophant, and oh my God. This pair, wow, okay, Hierophant and Medicine, sorry. Shaman and Medicine Woman, which is Hierophant and High Priestess. That's pretty significant. And I just heard the words all clear. Like you're getting the all clear from them, for you, to them, from you. Communication standards are going to approach being a whole lot more, I know I'm repeating the word, but standard for you and this energy outside of you. I think that something will be set up to where everything will be known to be very consistent, very regular, very like organized and approachable. For quite a few of you, if this entire time we're talking about some kind of a romantic relationship or something like that, any kind of like, if it's one single person, the relationship that you are having with this person toward the end will feel like clear water, easy stream, like calm stream. Clear water floating along it. It can go where it needs to go. I guess like this image, but it just feels like clear water energy. Like we can see everything in the water. Maybe it's like shallow stream, clear water energy where you can like literally see through it, everything that's down beneath the water. There's nothing to confuse. Everything is set up right. Everything is set up well. And I say right because the shaman is here. Like, like conceptually, there's no right or wrong. There's no perfect way of doing it or horrible way of doing it, blah, blah, blah. But like with the shaman here, there is a considered amount between you and the energy outside of you of what right would be. Like we were saying with the Seven of Air, it's culturally considered, inappropriate to do the happy dance in front of the people who just hired you. Things like that. Like what is considered right will be like literally completely laid out, totally spread out on the table. We got it. I got you. You got me. This is our code of conduct. We're proceeding like this. Everything is so clear. We see where we're headed. We see our way forward. Here we go. I think you're going to be finishing off the week. I feel like you guys group one, I think a whole lot of other stuff is going to happen, but we're primarily tuning into this with your reading so that you're very well prepared for it. But I think you're going to be finishing off the week feeling like I just did. Like I just took in a great breath and it felt wonderful. And I don't know, I'm just saying this right now. I record, there's a window directly in front of me and I'm looking out. The sky has cleared. It's been rainy for quite a few days. The sky has cleared. I just took a deep breath and I was like, you know what? After this, I'm totally going outside to frolic, probably take a walk, lay down in the grass. I don't know. We'll see. I have time. Yeah, something like that. I think that that's going to be the end of your week is like, clouds have parted. What you were hassling over has cleared away. Now what do you want to do? You may experience a little bit of bliss-filled freedom like that. But okay, 2 cards that I just got. They're going to show us what will help with your challenges and conflicts this week. We have Sun with enjoy, success, and happiness. And here I want to say, feel free to take part in anything and everything that is Oh, that similarity to the happy dance outside in the parking lot, kind of a thing. You probably have people, you have behaviors, you have habits. It might be a spur of the moment trip or something like that, like a day trip or weekend getaway, something like that. Anything that you're going through this week that is quite stressful for you, in order to harmonize cohesively in the physical and manifest that well with this energy outside of you, lean into all that you have available to you, including your own crystal clear, soothed inner peace, Two of Swords, kind of mental powers and ability to just kind of grasp at all of those things that help you visualize success, yes, but also bring you to, like, not even bring you, just like enhance your states of joy. Just in the moment, like clear the thoughts, tune in, feel what you're feeling, and be like, what can I do right now that would be the most joyful? Is it call up your friend? Like I just said, I'm gonna go outside and frolic in some kind of physical way. It's always gonna be there in the moment. So use that this week. It'll help a whole lot. And again, there's this enjoy success energy, which I don't think I have to repeat. You're gonna enjoy the success. So lean into that. Why hold back? You can, we said, but still lean into it because it's gonna feel good. Then we have Direction Guardian with Choose Your Path. A reminder. I needed another breath, don't know why. There's a lion on this card and the lion on the Strength card. I think you hold the frequency of what would be best for you and the energy outside of you, or at the least for you. I'm hearing from your guides, focus intentionally and intensely on what would be best for you, Group 1, in this situation, in your behavior. Prioritize that above all and follow through with that. Hold on. All thoughts just evaporated. Hold on. Your guides just did something very interesting. That's it. Period. End of sentence. They cleared my head. There's nothing more to say. Okay, I was gonna say, like, you can hold space for the priorities of this energy outside of you as well as you, blah blah blah, because the Strength card, and there are like 2 characters on the Strength card classically in tarot. Your guides are trying to help you through conflicts and challenges, and they are trying to say when or if any of those kinds of kind of situations rise. Again, you're going to be having these exchanges. 2 of Earth, 2 of Air. You're going to be having these conversations and back and forth kind of a thing to plan things out. They're saying in any of that kind of situational stuff that'll probably go on this week, always prioritize yourself and selfhood above others and above all else. It feels like your connection and commitment to youhood is the way through this, is the way through like almost all of your problems here of what we're dealing with. I don't feel like these are like big challenges or harms or problems. I think it's just like, really recognize that it's kind of all about you this week. And again, you have the opportunity of being that like William Wallace coach on the sidelines, amping up cheerleader kind of vibe and energy. But okay, Group 1, I have your spirit animal for your week ahead. Your spirit animal for the week ahead is the deer. Let's look at the book and see what's up with the deer. What does she have to say? Hold on. Loving, intuitive, graceful, and the mother. The deer represents the feminine aspects of earth energy. How interesting, because it's so like you're physically building something. There's a lot of earth kind of vibe in this. This energy is available to all creatures regardless of gender, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates and a sense of grace calms the room. That's the objective. Maybe that's why we're pointing out like only kind of this thing that's going on this week is because effectively, I think you all are like new parenting or just mothering, functionally mothering, regardless of your gender, this objective in your life. Oh, a deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. It is funny that I was giving all those examples that are seemingly more masculine, like battlefield and sports and stuff like that, but fuck it, you know, what ifs. The Deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. Strength card does speak of that kind of strength, doesn't it? How often do us tarot readers point that out? That it's like the gentle strength of companionability and what that actually takes, the strength of a relationship, those kinds of strengths. When in balance, receptive, compassionate, nurturing. When out of balance, concerned, protective, to bring into balance nature and children. Oh my God, I did talk about frolicking outside. Yeah, you do you this week, okay? You nurture the shit out of this. You got this, okay? You got this. That's it. That's what I have for you, Group 1. If you like this reading and if it has helped, you can always let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe because it's YouTube. And I have links in the description of this video for some pretty cool shit if you want any of it. Check them out. I'm sending you on your way. Please remember we are all free and we are also all connected always. At the exact same time, I love you. Hi, beautiful humans. In Group 2, you guys are drawn to the Eight of Cups. These are your messages about your week ahead, your next 7 days. I'm gonna get another card. It is definitely that one. It tried the hardest. Okay. And we're gonna add it to your Eight of Cups and we're gonna see what is the overall main theme. The, largest kind of energy that you'll be working through in the week ahead. Adding to your Eight of Cups, we have the Empress. Hot damn. Okay, the Empress, it says luxury, beauty, harmony, abundance, grace, fertility, love, nature, beauty again, and art. Oh, and then we have the Eight of Cups with change, shift, and change. Isn't that interesting? I think the week ahead, it's going to be so unavoidable how much you need to shift, how much you need to approach the changes that are likely to occur this week. I think it will be like an unavoidable annoyance, kind of. I'm hearing the words, it doesn't make sense. Unavoidable avoidance. Okay, maybe that does make sense. It's the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups comes out when it is true. Like, I rationalized this with one of my friends recently. When we are not emotionally alive, emotionally whole, emotionally well, effectively we are living a life of, conceptually, a zombie. Like we're not alive, we're not feeling anything, just going through the motions, eating our, quote unquote brains. It doesn't matter, just there's no vibrancy, there's no connection kind of idea. There's something going on in your life or your world where that's like an unavoidable, I'm going to say it again, unavoidable avoidance. I think you've been, maybe the world around you is compounding this pressure to compel you to try to avoid your response of, well, then I'll just walk away or I'll make some necessary changes so that I don't have to follow through on becoming a zombie or be a zombie any further. There's something occurring this week that is pretty monumental, very large, and is probably first steps. So be gentle with yourself. Take yourself very light and airy and abundantly. Don't press too hard on you. I'm hearing or I'm sensing. You got 3 cards right here because you're going toward the Empress, which is, I feel like any step or any move that you make this week is exactly the step and the move that you need to make, including the ones that will end up possibly being wrong for you or not the best course of action. It feels like there's an encouragement in your cards, as well as I see you all doing this, of being light with your footsteps, light with your choices, and allowing a little bit of reckless abandonment, a little devil may care, because how are you supposed to know unless you try it out? And this is the week where you can't avoid you can't, double negative, hold on. Can't avoid not trying it out anymore. Does that work? Hold on, too many negatives. Help. I'm just gonna get to the rest of your cards and see more specifically about what this is. There we go. 3 of air with doubt is on the bottom of the deck. Doubt, self-doubt might be genuinely something that you've been wrestling with, but that exists in the mind. Oh my God, there's something that I heard about the mind today. It was on a podcast, and now I'm gonna butcher it, but it's something about how the mind is not the tool to use to better like feel or interpret or oh, I'm butchering it, but it's something like how the mind doesn't, it functions solely to help us stay alive, you know? It's like a tool. Whereas like emotions are like the direction. And I killed it. Oh my God, I wish I hadn't gone down that road, or I wish I would remember it accurately. But 3 of air, 3 of swords on the bottom of the deck. There's something mental that has been blocking up the heart space for you, and it's been a challenge for you for a period of time. It's led to a whole lot of frequency of doubt of whether or not you can actively pursue the heart space further in all of its forms. You must choose you. You have to. 8 of Cups, there isn't an option. It comes out when we don't have an option, or otherwise we just conclude that we're going to attempt to appear as if certain parts of us are completely fine being totally, wholly empty and unresolved. But okay, let's see a little bit further, more specifically about things that are likely to occur. We have Spiritual Warrior, which is the Chariot card in this deck, and it is quite significant. The Chariot card is heavily tied to our emotions. It is Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. Cancer is about immersing and how we feel and the home space and people who we are intimately tied to, being sensitive in those kinds of ways while also being aware of the outer world and what it might do to sensitive people. We also have the Father of Earth. I think that you're going to be presented with almost right away a follow through on a connection or a commitment that you can do right now that will set a whole new standard for you in your life in certain kinds of ways that are compatible with who you are. I just channeled all of that. This dude is holding his jar of what looks like, aren't they the, like in, why am I saying Mesoamerica? I don't even know if that's accurate. But isn't it like 3 grains that were like the most important? It was corn and 2 others, and I can't remember. I watched a like animated thing that was like 45 minutes long a really long time ago that was called Pachamama, and it was saying something about like the 3 things. Regardless, this might come in the form of, why can't I remember my references in your reading? That's odd. So far it's been 2 that have just like evaporated. Anyway, it might come in the form of food or a dietary kind of accompaniment or companionability or something like that. Maybe someone who wants to go on this particular journey with you, and then you can't disregard that. You can't say no to it. It's almost like you guys want to change your into a healthy eating pattern, and you are going to have like a friend or a partner who's like, well, I'll do it too. And then you're going to be like, well, fine, I have to do it. Like, kind of a thing. Like, of course I'm going to do it now. I think it's going to come like right to your doorstep, be easily presented to you. You can't say no to it. It's very compassionately companionable for you. Kind of a really easy first move, first harmonious step to make. Okay, your next cards, we have Spirit Guide, which is the Judgment card in this deck. And then we have Transformation, which is the Death card in this deck. And we have Babes. I don't know why I called you babes. Group 2. You got the 8 of Cups, 8 of Water again. And it's stagnation. There's something about how this will be bubbling up in all of its forms. I'm also hearing the word brewing. So brewing, coffee, tea, maybe beer, not beer. Brewing coffee and tea might be like a significant kind of a synchronicity to look out for this week, but it will be bubbling up in all of its forms this week for you to acknowledge and to kind of realize. I think it's just, I think what we're talking about in these 3 cards that wanted to come out together is like everything that we've already said. I think there will be something inside of you that will be so loud of a voice inside of you. It might be something very physically felt by you as well, like physical symptoms of something that's like a claircognizance, an inner knowing, or an intuitive, like just hard stop. You can't continue any further. You have to go in another direction. I'm hearing the words, you have to belong. You have to belong in your future, and you must follow through on what that looks like, those objectives. You must take part in those kinds of actions or activities this week. And I think that there's something going to be charged up through you that is similar to what so many of us have experienced if we have experienced things like spiritual awakening. Like, oh, mine was so hallmarked by this energy of like, it was just something that grew inside of me. And I'm like everything of the way that I was living life, it was like my claws on the ground, like, no, I don't want to leave what is normal, but I can't stop and I have to go in these directions. Oh my God. Like, I feel like it's going to be something like that, but I feel like you're just going to have this like very crystal clear knowingness of, I can't keep doing the same thing, or like, you know, it's 8 of Cups. Your situation is 8 of Cups. You have to, you know, Judgment card here, and death. You know, hear the call in all of its forms and make that transition, a transformation. Okay, your last 2 cards. We have 7 of Air with futility. And then we have the Clown. And I want to say probably a lot of people are going to be reaching out to you or for you. I want to say that this might be a familiar pattern in your household or in your work life, your work situation, where people are used to relying on you in certain kinds of ways. Here I'm thinking of, I only watched the movie once, but it was one, and it's an older movie, and it was one of my mom's favorite movies, and it's called Shirley Valentine. And the plot is it's this underappreciated British woman who's like a housewife, and she leaves just like on a whim, and she goes to Greece. Like, she leaves her husband. I don't think she even like tells him where she's going. She leaves her husband, she goes to Greece on a holiday. And a lot of other stuff happens, like sex. Yeah, I think that there's something about, like, if you guys know that movie, like the husband tries to track her down and find her and like call her because he's used to her being there and cooking for him and her being in the house. There's something probably going on with your workplace of like, if somebody is sick, they always call you because you're always the one who's reliable. And you'll come in even on your day off and you'll fill in for them. Okay, your card fell on the floor. One moment. You're gonna need to hold on because I'm moving a chair. Okay, it's not so far away. I always think that whenever a card falls on the floor, I'm like, no! And then it's like never that far away. And it takes like 1 second to get it. Why do I always think it's gonna be the biggest challenge? But anyway, these 2 cards, I think that you're going to need to be dealing with how much that can't happen for you. Your guides are, oh my gosh, sorry, hold on. 2 things. Your guides are saying commitment to the follow through. They were repeating the words follow through, follow through, follow through. And just right now, I record in front of a window. There's my window in front of me. It looks out in the backyard, and there's a little bunny. I have been seeing so many more of them recently. I don't know what that necessarily means. Like, why I personally have been seeing so many bunnies. I actually hit one with a car recently. It was horrible. Anyway, bunny just hip hopped across the window while I was saying that. It's time to move on. I know a while ago in my life, I was seeing rabbits like out of the blue, similar to now. Just before I ended up taking like a spur of the moment kind of dramatic shift and road trip in my life, like solo trip kind of a thing. And I think I remember like looking it up. Like the rabbit does symbolize something like that. The rabbit can also symbolize something like you're like behaving as a prey animal. You're afraid when you need to be more like assertive, sensitized, maybe on guard. I don't know, there's a lot of symbolism in it. But again, with these last two of the tarot cards before we get to your 2 cards and the one that fell on the floor, is just, I think that there's opportunities and energy and charge up for you to say no to granting these same or similar kinds of favors. You're going to Greece, Shirley Valentine. I don't know what it is for you guys, but it's like you won't say yes. You have to say no. I think you're gonna know that, but okay. These 2 cards, this is not the one that fell on the floor. You have Medicine Guardian with Be Open to Healing Information. Oh, I didn't even say what these cards are for. These are what will help you with challenges this week, conflicts this week. You're gonna have your fair share of them. With the 3 of Air, doubt on the bottom of the deck, some of them are generated from inside of you for all of the reasons. all of them, that we mentally have doubt, and that we've trained ourselves mentally, especially, to kind of block up or cage away our heart space, create that heart wall, you know. We've got some healing information that wants to come through. We've got spirit guide and spiritual warrior. I want to say that this card is coming out to, again, encourage you to embrace those standards that we were saying would be brewing up and bubbling up from inside of you. And then also embrace your commitment to your heart space, that for sure. But let us not forget that your second card that came out up here is the Empress. All of those words that are on this card, let us remind you, okay? Group 2, luxury, beauty, harmony, abundance, grace, fertility, love, nature, beauty again, and art. All of these things are there. All of these things you have an awareness of are possible for you, that you can engage in even further, you can connect with even more. They're there. And with this medicine guardian, it's like, please be open to your reality deserves to have a whole lot less harm to your heart space in it. And please be open to any kind of information that might come through about how you can take those next steps. Remember this Chariot card and the Father of Earth and what we were channeling about. One of my hairs is right here. Okay. What we were channeling about, like somebody is going to be coming to you. Somebody is going to be made really non-harmfully, very easy for you. That hair, okay. It is a rabbit that just went across the backyard, but also I think hare, like H-A-R-E, is another spirit animal that has a kind of a different tone to it. You guys might want to like research, like you might want to do a Googling of spiritual significance of hare and spiritual significance of rabbit. But okay, your second, this was the one that was on the floor, and it says Shield Maiden with make plans and focus. I think that that's kind of the avoidance kind of repetitive thing, redundant statement that your guys kept making. Have courage, group 2. Be strong about this. Focus on, this is the initial stages, you know? I don't know, it's something like how you've been on guard I have to say this. This card is coming through with this kind of a statement. You've been on guard toward what would actually be good for you, because there are parts of walking toward what would be good for you that would be alienating to what you are used to. Oh, I just heard that today on something, like I think it was a podcast, how it's like we usually choose into our familiarity like 9 times out of 10, even if our familiarity is hurting us because it's familiar. You know, we don't always walk into what would be better because better is new. You know, and there's something about how you need to take up that shield, like we were saying with the symbolism of rabbit energy. Take up that shield to protect you, to go out and do what you know you need to do, to frolic in the grass and, you know, glass? Just gonna say that. I did say that there was some kind of a thing with brewing, like coffee or tea, but glass artwork, stained glass windows, something like that. Just throwing that out there as another thing. Yeah, make plans and focus. And like we were saying initially, you can have a charge up of, it can be simple, it can be pure, it can be little mistaken, easy, light steps this week. That's fine. It's very do no harm, but be intentional. Choose to have the spirit aimed toward, I need new. Of course, I'm going to do new. I can't be a zombie anymore. But okay, your spirit animal card. This is your last card for this week ahead, group 2. It is Fox. Oh, you know, there is a rabbit card in this deck, and I was wondering, is it going to come out for them? But no, you got like Predator of Rabbit card coming out. Okay, smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. I have to say, you guys, this whole entire time, I feel as if you're dealing with fox energy charged up from outside of you. not necessarily in a balanced state. I have to say, you got such bunny energy. I have to say you're dealing with fox stuff outside of you that's kind of encouraging the zombification kind of thing. When in balance, magical, ingenious, teacher, monogamous. When out of balance, sneaky, unsure of their identity. To bring into balance, partnership and connection. I can't remember what ends up happening between Shirley Valentine and her husband. I just remember the part on the boat with a Greek man. Go ahead and watch that movie. My mom loved it. Yeah, but like, you know, there's something in the long run or in the long term about whatever this fox energy is outside of you that might be able to be benefited by you and through you if you choose your way into a feeling kind of a world, a feeling kind of a situation, a feeling kind of a life, far more. Maybe you can in turn show them a thing or two or teach them about it a whole lot more when you get there, when you get used to it, okay? But okay, group 2, that's what we have for you, your guides and I. We're through. How do we feel about all this and all the rabbit stuff? If you like, you can leave us a comment. You know, I always love those. Also like and subscribe because it's YouTube. I have a bunch of links in the description of this video for stuff. You can check out the stuff if you want any of the stuff. Otherwise, I'm sending you on your way. Please remember we are all free and we are also all connected, always, at the exact same time. I love you. Hi, beautiful humans in group 3. You all were drawn to this 4 of Cups card. So these are your messages about the week ahead, the next 7 days from whenever you are watching this. Your card, the 4 of Cups, I'm adding one other card from the same deck to it because it's going to show me what's the main theme of your week ahead. What's the primary energy? Whew. It could go either way. Let's just say that, okay? It's the Death card as your second card. Already with the 4 of Cups, I was feeling like you're going to be hearing from someone who has a kind of like a nonchalance, lackadaisical, it doesn't matter kind of an attitude toward you, toward life itself. It feels like it's a little bit frustrating as I'm tuning into your energy field because it's almost as if they choose to not care or they choose to not feel. They might be numbing and they might have some kind of a dark part of their characteristics or their qualities of their behavior because of that as a result of it. But with the 4 of Cups, and I know that this week they're going to be reaching out to you. And with the Death card, I think that it could go either way. I don't know. Let's allow that the Death card is meaning that there are changes in their behavior, and then we will see. We will see is basically what I feel like is the outcome so far of what that means to you. This card, the words, it says yearning, disillusion, and boredom. I feel like the person might have used words like disillusion and boredom, and they might have behaviors where they act on their yearning or impulsive. Like they act on their yearning, and then when that fades away or dies, then so do they. You know, the cycles of compulsion, and let's call it like, you know, addiction, coping mechanisms. But okay, the Death card, it says transformation. Well, it says a lot. Wait, no, it repeats. Transformation, new beginnings, change, endings. I love this new deck. I love this kind of like, you know, Day of the Dead skull. It's beautiful. Anyway, again, is it a new beginning? Has there been transformation? Will this be an ending? We will see. Let's get more specifically with this other tarot deck and see what is likely to occur. But that's the overall theme. You might be tuning in with these tarot cards to, whoa, other things that are likely to occur this week. Not necessarily just this. It just really feels like this is going to be taking up primary space in your energy field. I think you care for this person a lot. I think you might be very frustrated by them. You got 3 too. Group 2 had 3 cards right here. Usually I do 2, 2, 2. So, I mean, that stands out. That's pretty significant. We're needing a little bit more energy this week. Shit, I forgot what I was saying. Again, I feel like this frustrates you because I think you care a whole lot about this person. And then with the 4 of Cups showing up, Four of Cups is like stagnant. Well, I mean, it can mean many things, but it's kind of like stagnancy of emotions. And if you guys have seen the Mermaid Tarot deck, it very much so is one of those kinds of decks that depicts how that is like what we do when we strive toward a coping mechanism, then to actively do that safe space, feel our feelings, heal from those like painful ones, you know, all that kind of stuff. We got to do emotional stuff. You got somebody who's not doing that. I feel like the person that you're dealing with, they do that not bleh, to such a profound level that almost makes you wonder, is this a part of who they are? A part of their core being, part of their like, you know, are they a person who does not feel feelings? Something like that. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have Integration, which is the Temperance card in this. Why can't I do it right? Hold on. There. Okay, that's important to me because I'm anal. And that's fine. Okay, so what you've been trying to do this whole time, what's building the energy of this week, is you've been trying to be aware, trying to learn how to handle this in your life, how to handle how you feel, how to handle when it appears like they don't feel, or when they actually like present as if they aren't feeling anything at all, or they're unaware, or they don't care, or they ghost, or they go away, or they don't belong, or I'm not sure, all of that kind of stuff. But with the Temperance card here, you've been striving toward achieving some kind of alchemy in the situation and learning in a conscious, aware, philosophical, and expansive kinds of ways. Like, you want to alchemize the situation. Again, the Death card, one way or the other. You want to figure out, like, is this good for me? Is this good for them? Like, can we do anything here? Or can I just end this? I don't know. I'm feeling those kinds of vibes. Like, you're learning as you go through something. I think you're treating this with like, okay. Oh, yeah. Two of Water, love is just underneath that, which is like, you know, there are those emotions here, but why is it not working? And if it's not working, what am I meant to do with this? The emotions are still there. Feels like that kind of thing. But okay, we're learning relationships. It's that kind of era in humanity, isn't it? We're fucking learning how to finally do relationships well, and it's causing all sorts of shit. Okay, let's get to your tarot. We have Father of Water, King of Cups, and then we also have 8 of Fire with Insight. I think that this person, the energy pull that they have on you will be very large, huge, and will be very extraordinary and very bright. I think, so far with these 2 cards, I think that they're going to be presenting to you in a form that feels as if it has been challenged, and therefore this person has chosen to transform. I'm hearing the words parts of who they are. This is huge. This is big. It's kind of like this the second time in readings. I channeled this the other day when I was recording something else for us. It's a hard thing to channel. It doesn't feel... Okay, I'm just going for it. This kind of vibe is coming through of, I think that this person will come forward to you and you'll feel it. You'll like, it'll resonate for you kind of like at your core, in your bones, that their behavior has shifted like monumentally, and you will be aware of it. I think they'll say certain things to you. They'll, do things a little bit differently for you. With the 8 of Fire and Insight, I think that you'll have an awareness of like hormonal shifts, hormonal imbalances. I'm hearing that, but also how you may be having like surges of energy inside of you as a result of this person and the shifts that it appears that they have made already, and how they are coming to you, how they are presenting to you. Okay, let's see a little bit more. We have the Sun of Water, as well as 4 of Earth with Security. And Lovers. Okay, I shouted that. Yeah. I heard the words stand your ground. I heard them said in a particular kind of a way. Hold on. I think that what you're going to need to do is be aware of whether or not your values are being wholly received well. by the other person, and or kind of like the whole world around you, and whether or not this other person can pick up on whether or not you are being held well by your environment right now, by your circumstances, and by your situation. Something here where it feels as if you actively require some form of assistance, some kind of help. You have needs, you have requirements. There are places where the energy of love can really soothe, really assist, really, fill some gaps in your life. I feel like you're going to have to go through like a parsing, kind of a sifting, kind of an, strict editing kind of a thing with this person, with this charge up in their energy field and with their tone, to make sure that they are actually choosing their way into needing to account for your security, your stability, your emotional well-being, you being well off and understood. I think you got some kinds of situations that are going on in your life where Four of Earth and security is coming into play, where you have to hold things close to you. You have to hold things tight to your chest. Like, you have to make sure that you are secure and protected, close and double lock all doors and windows kind of vibe and frequency. And I think what you're doing with this Sun of Water and Lovers card is allowing this whole thing to unfold and taking part in it, seeing where it's headed, but literally, again, stand your ground. You actively are in a situation or a position where assistance would really suit you and help. And there's something about how I think you're going to need to be sifting through the matter at hand far more with this person, with this energy outside of you, than what you would normally do, or what you are aware of whether or not they can handle or even pursue for you at this point. Like, you have a matter at hand that you have to focus on and you have to be dealing with. And I think you're going to be going through the motions of making sure that they know the details of it, they can handle it, they can be a part of it, they can thrive well with you while you go through what you go through. Okay, your last two of the tarot cards, we have Three of Earth with growth. And then we also have Five of Water with loss. Your guides are still coming through with this energy of it could go either way. It might seem as if there is a disappointment, or if there are disappointments. I'm hearing a lot from your guides. I'm hearing a particular tone, so give me a minute. It's something like you will be aware of the losses and the potential for more of them in your future. Just in general, it's whether or not this person will be able to handle what will be required in order to support you, to build through you, to build with you. I like this Three of Earth card because it looks like there's like a beating heart down in the earth. And it's like there's something like, if we do love each other, if we share one kind of beating heart, love kind of energy, you're going to have to feel, I'm saying this as if I am you, with this Five of Water card, you're going to have to feel a whole lot more. You're going to have a whole lot more awareness of what I am actually emotionally going through. The losses that I've had to handle, what I'm dealing with on a health level, I'm also hearing. What I've had to pursue, how many failures and shortcomings I've had to go through, like what has hit me and left me, kind of standing dumbfounded and gobsmacked. I'm channeling all those words. I think that there needs to be a follow through. This is interesting. Your guides keep coming through with this kind of energy of more than likely this person will fail the test of this, but the outcome is undecided and not determined just yet. Like, we're dealing with Group 3, I've done so many tarot readings for so many people, and I would say 75% of the tarot readings, maybe a little bit more, have been about really important relationships in life. And I've read so many like repeat tarot readings for the same person, like dealing with the same kind of relationship. And oftentimes it is such like a clear path forward, clear path forward, clear path forward. And then because we're dealing with two people, the other, something will occur, something strange will happen, something will shift their focus, and then it completely disregards the timeline that they were on. It's almost like the timeline that they were on that we would consistently read for them would just like evaporate, and then it would be stalled for a period of time. It would just go all off, all kilter. And it's because we're co-creating a consciously held reality among all humanity. And when we're in a relationship, we can't control the other to do what we want. We can make them, force them to prioritize our health and well-being. We can't. So there's like a free will choice. There's a responsibility. There's an open acknowledgement. There's a clarification that needs to occur this week. And your whole week is about responding to whether or not that's actively there. And if it isn't, it isn't. If it is, it is. If it is, we keep moving. If it isn't, then you have some kinds of flow-worthy decisions to make, you know? Do I keep flowing? Which way do I want to flow with this whole thing? Are your emotions still there with this person? Are they deeply held? Then we continue and you just allow for another round to come back around in the future. But if they deliver, they deliver. If they don't, they don't. You know, kind of a vibe. Okay. Group 3. These two cards are showing us what will help with conflicts and challenges this week. Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Well, that's pretty nice. You do have this person coming to you. They have transformed in certain kinds of ways. It is worthy of you and your conscious awareness, your voice, your silence, probably your necessary kinds of unconditional passivity while they needed to go through something like that. It's worthy of you to approach this right now. I think because again, there's genuinely held, mutually shared emotion kind of tone going on here. At least, I mean, probably for them, we'll see. But it is worth it to embrace the energy of peace. I don't know, I kind of really love doing this. I kind of really love being, as best as I can, a non-judgmental person. It's really hard, especially in my thoughts. Sometimes my thoughts are there to protect me, and I swear to God, sometimes they're like, nobody is safe. It's fine, it's fine. There's something about how the more you can embrace this energy of peace and calm, be non-judgmental in this situation. Everybody has gone through what they have gone through. Everybody is dealing with their own childhood bullshit. We're all doing the shit that we're doing, you know, to the best of your ability this week. It'll help you through these challenges, maybe conflicts this week, to embrace peace more than judgments. And then we have Fire Guardian with Ignite Your Passions. This is listen to the desire. Listen to the desire. Whether or not the desire is mutually shared. Acknowledge that yours, this is another little tarot nerd thing that I've you know, I have a little bit of like, oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. Like for all the tarot readings that I've done, I have a few things that come out as like significant things that have occurred so often that they're like, you know, usual. One of them is that if we're dealing with the energy of emotions, you know, cups, and if we're dealing with the energy of our passions, our desires, fire, wands, if we're dealing with those two things, they always tell the truth. For right or wrong, without judgment, they are telling the truth. When it comes to like swords and when it comes to pentacles and things like that, we get into like different things, messier things. But there's desire here. There are passions involved here. It would best suit you to acknowledge that those are true for you when and if they are. Do that and do likewise for the other. Give it the benefit of the doubt that that truth is being told inside of you. It's an internal kind of a motivator. You do not have to douse it. There's no charge up of any reason to thus far in your reading. It's just like a fair, open kind of space. Non-judgmental again, but okay. Your spirit animal for the week ahead. This is your last card, group 3, for this reading for you guys. Your spirit animal is the phoenix, appropriately. Let's see. It's toward the back. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Is it I think it's the root chakra. Yeah, the first chakra. Freedom from suffering and past karma and reincarnation. Well, this is coming back around, like we were saying. And there has been a shift. There has been some kind of a transformation. It's just something about what you're going through that needs to be acknowledged as well. But anyway, oof. The phoenix represents the transformation of our past. There we go. That's what we're tuning into. How far has that occurred? Where are we at with that? Okay. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. Okay. There's no need to do that this week. There's no need. The phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. Tapas. The essence of the phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. Exactly. They've done their part in changing something. You'll see. There's something about you doing your part in ensuring that if you two are gonna do anything at all together, you're gonna have to do it likewise for you. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions at the unconscious mind. The swords. Okay, at that very moment, the spark of the phoenix is lit and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. That's this whole thing that we're talking about. Stuff has happened, stuff has been done. You need to be able to go through it, and you need to see if this person is willing to do likewise as well. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. Let's see if that occurs, okay? As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the phoenix lifts our spirits up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. This whole thing. Look closely. It's a sign. The fire of transformation is upon your wings. Again, the death card. Let's see. Let us see. Your whole reading, group 3, is about evolving into an awareness and transforming from judgment. Again, the integration card. You're learning about this. Like, it's just like your whole reading is an encouragement to be conscious, be aware, set your standards, set your sights on an intended future. And open, allow, receive, look into it, see about it, okay? That's it. That's what you guys have for you. How do we feel? You can let us know in the comments. Otherwise, like and subscribe because it's YouTube. I have a bunch of links in the description of this video for some stuff. If you want any of the stuff, you can look at my stuff and buy it. But yeah, sometimes I suck at selling. Do it if you want. Goodbye. Okay, I'm sending you on your way. Please remember we are all free and we are also all connected, always, at the exact same time. I love you. My lovelies, if you are curious in any of the decks about any of, I don't know. Oh, my brain. These are the decks that I used in this reading, just in case you guys were curious. And yeah, this is the pocket size of the spirit animal, it's called, you guys can see what it's called. Oh my God. Bye.